So, okay guys, in this part we are going to do the last part, and that's for our lobby browser screen. So let's go back to our menu script, and down here we want to make a new function, void update lobby browser URL. Lobby browser UI. So inside of that, we want first to disable all rooms buttons. So for that, we are going to use the for each loop. So game object, we pass that information to our button in room buttons. And then we want here button dot set active false. We want to disable first all our buttons. So next things we need to disable all current rooms. But for that one we are going to use the for each, not for each, for loop. So int x is equal to 0, and if our x is less than uh, room list dot count, then we want to add 1 to our x. So now we need a new function. So let's write that function down of our update lobby browser URL. So here browser UI public override void, and the name of that is on room list update list. So info all, so room list. So here I'm going to change that room list to all rooms. So here we don't need this one, we can delete that, we can write our own. So we're going to say the room list is equal to all rooms. So now we need to instantiate the room game object. So for that, in the top, I'm going to make a new function, and that function is going to make a room list. So game object create room button. So inside the game object button object is equal to instantiate, and what we want to instantiate is our room button prefab, where it should be inside of our room list container dot transform. So now after that we need uh, room buttons dot add, and what we want to add, we want to add this button object. Then here we need to return something, and to fix that problem with this create, I'm going to make it also this big C. So return button object. Now let's go back to our for loop. We need to fill something there. So here get or create the button object. So for that we need game object button is equal to if our x is bigger than or equal to room buttons dot count, then question mark. If it's true, then we want to create room buttons, and if it's not true, room button array x inside. So here I need to change it to big C. Okay. Now here we are going also to activate the buttons. So buttons dot set active to be true. So next part we will to say set the room name and player count. Text to how many players we have in that room. So here button dot transform dot find, here quotation mark. I'm going to fill it later, but here we need first get component text mesh polygon dot, so text is equal to room list array x inside dot name. So now we need to fill this part as well. So now if we are going to our game, we are going to our prefab, a room button. I'm going to double click on that. We need to copy that part. And then let's go back to our script, paste it there. So room name text. Be sure that it's exactly because in our, so this function is going to try to find all these buttons with this name, and it's going to attach it there. So now we need to do the same for the number of our players in the room. So just copy that, Control C, copy that, paste it, and here room list, and instead of the name, I'm going to change it to player count plus so here quotation mark slash, then we want to add the room list array x inside dot max players. That is the number of the max players and the number of the, so here we, at the beginning here we are going to add the number of the so player which join the room, and here the maximum player can join the room. So now here also we need to change this name, so just delete that part because it's going to find the room name text and we don't want that. We just want to find the player content text. So I'm going to copy that and paste it here. So now save it. So now let's make a new function. Public void for our buttons, because right now our button doesn't do anything. So here public void on join room button. Inside of that string room name. So network manager dot instance dot join room, and we pass the room name to that. So now we need to set the button inside of our loop. So here first we need to say button and pass that information that need to be a big button to button component is equal to button dot get component. So button. So the next part we need a string room name is equal to room list AX inside dot name. So the next things is we need to call that on join room button here. So, but first we need to remove all the listener because we don't want to stack all the listener. So here button comp dot onclick dot remove all listener. So we are going to remove all the listeners. So we are not going to stack the listeners. If we are going to click on them, and then we want to add a new listener to that. So button dot button comp dot onclick dot add listener. So here parentheses, and then the parentheses. So here equal to and equal or bigger than I'm join home button. Where is that? There. Unjoin home button. The name of the room name. So here semicolon here we need to add that parenthesis that we deleted and semicolon again. So now let's add another function when we want to refresh the lobby to see if any player is added or not. So here public void on refresh button. So now inside we need to call just the update lobby browser UI. Now we need also to update our lobby browser UI also when we are going to set our screen. So now let's go to that function of setting the screen there. So here we are going to make if function. If the screen is equal to our lobby browser screen, then we want just to update our lobby browser UI as well. So now let's save it. Going back to the game, here first we need to also make a refresh button in our lobby browser. Refresh button here we didn't set it, so we need to set it on click event from our menu manager, going inside, then menu on refresh button. So now let's save that, save the project as well. So now we can make an instance of this object. So I'm going to build the setting, player setting. Instead of full screen, I'm going to change window, set it at 600 at 600. So it's just for the test. So now we can close it and push the button build and then test it. So just be sure that in build setting, you put the main menu on in the index 0 and the game at index 1. So now I may open that index. So I'm going to call this one, for example, Paul, create room. The name of the room is Dungeon Slayer. So create your room name Dungeon Slayer Paul. So now I'm going to over the other one. Here player name. I'm going to call it Maria and find the room, and here Dungeon Slayer 1 from 20. So I can click on that, and as you see there is a Paul and there is a Maria, and we are just waiting for the to start. So I cannot play also on that. The only person that allowed to do that is the owner of the room. So which at this point, when I'm going to start it, we should move to the new scene. So as you see, when I'm going to play that, I moved to game. So that is more, the boss player is moved to the new scene. So now everything's worked fine with our main menu. That's perfect. That's nice. So now let's stop it. So now in the next part, we are going to spawn the players inside of the new scene. So see you in the next video.